After 10 unforgettable years, it's finally happening. The end of Outlander is here. A story that spanned centuries, continents, and countless hearts is now reaching its final chapter. From the windswept highlands of Scotland to the battle-scarred fields of America, this epic saga of time travel, love, loyalty, and loss has defined a generation of storytelling, and now, after 101 breathtaking episodes, the cameras have officially stopped rolling. With filming wrapped on the final season, emotions were overflowing not just from fans, but from the cast and crew who've poured their souls into every scene. Sam Heughan, the heart of Jamie Fraser himself, took to social media with never-before-seen behind-the-scenes photos that completely shift how we see some of the show's most devastating moments. Blood-soaked scenes that once left us gasping are now shown through a lens of laughter, warmth, and raw humanity. There's joy in the chaos, smiles through the tears, and an overwhelming sense of gratitude etched into every frame. To honor the final days on set, the cast gathered for one last tradition, posing with their scene clapboards, each answering the bittersweet question, if you could take one thing with you, what would it be? Sam wished for Jamie's legendary kilt. David Barry wanted Lord John Grey's cherished ring. Catriona Balfe, exhausted yet radiant, said she just wanted a nap. And Richard Rankin, ever cheeky, simply hoped to leave with his dignity. But beneath the laughter, there's a shared weight in the air. A knowing look between castmates. A final hug. A whispered goodbye on a quiet soundstage. This isn't just the end of a show. It's the farewell to a cultural phenomenon that built a global family. And if you think fans are ready to say goodbye, they're not. Because how do you let go of a story that changed the way we love, dream, and believe in the impossible? A lot of fans seem to think we're down to just one final season of Outlander Season 8, but hold on, because that's not entirely true. What many have forgotten, or maybe never realized, is that Season 7 Part 2 is still on the horizon. And not just in the works, but fully on its way to our screens this November. In fact, I've seen people online already referring to these upcoming episodes as Season 8, which just adds to the confusion. So let's set the record straight. Mark your calendars, November 22 is when Outlander Season 7 Part 2 officially premieres, bringing with it 8 brand new episodes that promise drama, romance, and some long-overdue confrontations. Only after that will we get to the real final season, Season 8, which is expected to include 10 episodes and bring the epic saga to a heartfelt conclusion. As of now, there's no confirmed release date for Season 8, but all signs point to a late 2025 or early 2026 premiere. So yes, there's still plenty more story to be told before we say goodbye to Claire and Jamie for good. Now that we've cleared the air, it's time to look ahead because Outlander Season 7 Part 2 is about to set the screen on fire. And yes, brace yourselves, minor spoilers lie ahead. Let's dive into Episode 9, fittingly titled Unfinished Business. And believe me, that title couldn't be more on point. This episode promises a storm of raw emotion, long-buried resentment, and the return of one of the most polarizing characters in the Outlander universe, Laocoère Mackenzie. That's right, Jamie Fraser's former wife is back, and she's not here for a friendly reunion. If you thought her chapter was closed, think again. Freshly released stills tease a tense face-off between Laocoère and Jamie, two people bound by a past neither of them truly wanted. Her sharp tongue, still intact. Her flair for drama, stronger than ever. The years may have passed, but the bitterness, it's bubbling just beneath the surface. And the moment she steps back into Jamie's orbit, everything fans thought was buried comes roaring back. Remember that alimony Jamie agreed to back in Season 4? The one tied to their brief, chaotic marriage? It's been quietly lingering in the background until now. This is the unfinished business we've been warned about. And with Claire once again at Jamie's side, you can bet the emotional stakes will be sky high. Let's be honest, Lay of Hair has never been on anyone's beloved character list. From trying to sabotage Claire to dabbling in dark manipulation, she's stirred more trouble than almost anyone in the series. But there's no denying her return adds a magnetic kind of chaos. The kind that shakes up the story just when things feel too stable. The kind that makes Outlander so deliciously unpredictable. So, am I ready for this storyline? Without a doubt. It's messy, it's personal, and it could very well become one of the most emotionally explosive episodes of the season. You won't want to miss this. Brotherly Love. Episode 10 is Brotherly Love, centered on Jamie and the original Old Ian. While they're not brothers by blood, their bond has always been strong. Ian is one of the more level-headed members of the Fraser family. This episode will also touch on an illness Ian suffers from, which becomes important later. 100 Weight of Stones. Episode 11 is titled 100 Weight of Stones, a chapter title from Book 8, written in my own heart's blood. It's about young Ian, and this storyline is teased in a 7B teaser where he's seen stacking stones, a kind of monument to honor the dead. Now, let's talk about the deeper emotional undercurrents flowing through Outlander Season 7 Part 2, because there's a lot more happening beneath the surface than just plot twists and action. One key moment centers around young Ian, and it's not as straightforward as it first appears. The big question, who exactly is he mourning? The answer, like much of Outlander, is layered and bittersweet. You see, much of the season will follow the emotional journey of Claire and young Ian as they leave Scotland before Jamie does. Their separation is temporary, or so they believe. But when Jamie eventually sets sail for America to reunite with them, tragedy strikes. The ship Jamie was supposed to be on sinks. News travels fast, and across the ocean, his family receives devastating word: Jamie Fraser is dead. Claire is shattered. Ian is stunned. The entire Fraser clan begins mourning a man who is, in reality, very much alive. Here's the gut punch twist: Jamie Fraser was never on that doomed vessel. He missed it entirely and boarded a different ship, completely unaware that back home, the people who love him most are drowning in grief. While Jamie sails on, alive and unknowing, his absence sends emotional shockwaves through his family. For young Ian, it's not just mourning a death, it's grappling with the unbearable weight of believing you've lost the man who's been your anchor, your mentor, your family. That grief cuts deeper than any blade. And that's where the episode takes a powerful turn. The title doesn't just allude to loss, it's a signal of Ian's rising arc. With Jamie presumed dead, the mantle of leadership, both emotional and practical, quietly shifts to him. He now carries the unspoken responsibility to protect Claire and help hold the fractured Fraser family together. It's a moment of transformation for Ian, raw, tragic, and quietly heroic. He's stepping out of Jamie's shadow and into his own, even as his heart breaks. Now buckle up, because we're shifting gears to episode 12, Carnal Knowledge, and trust me, the title alone has already sent shockwaves across the Outlander fandom. This episode brings to life one of the most controversial, emotionally charged moments from Diana Gabaldon's books. And yes, it includes that line. The one fans have been waiting years to hear aloud: I have had carnal knowledge of your wife. Let that sink in. The moment is shocking, devastating, and deeply human. After believing Jamie is dead, Claire and Lord John, broken, grieving, and numb, find solace in each other's arms. It's not just a betrayal. It's two souls clinging to the only piece of Jamie they have left. But when Jamie learns the truth, it's not the act that destroys him, it's the intention. That Lord John, in that vulnerable moment, was imagining him. That detail rips open old wounds, dredging up Jamie's deepest trauma, his violation by Blackjack Randall, and the scars, both physical and emotional, that still haunt him. His violent reaction to Lord John isn't simple rage. It's grief, betrayal, and pain wrapped in a storm of emotions he's fought to keep buried. How the show handles this moment will be watched closely because this isn't just drama. This is legacy. And the fact that they're keeping that legendary line in, that's not just a bold creative choice. It's a promise that Outlander still knows how to break us, rebuild us, and leave us breathless. Next, we arrive at episode 13, Hello Goodbye, a title that was originally The Raven and the Dove. While both titles are poetic and mysterious, their meanings aren't entirely clear just yet. Hello Goodbye could hint at reunions and farewells, perhaps echoing Jamie's return or a major turning point for Claire. Meanwhile, The Raven and the Dove sound symbolic, possibly referring to characters or themes of death and peace, loss and love. If you've got theories, I'd love to hear them in the comments because this one's still wide open for interpretation. And finally, episode 14, You Didn't Get Used to It, brings us back to the horrors of war. It follows the trio Jamie, Claire, and young Ian as they return to the Battle of Monmouth, one of the most intense historical confrontations of the American Revolutionary War. The episode title refers to a chilling moment between Jamie and Ian. Before going into battle, Ian asks, "Do you ever get used to war?" Jamie's reply, "No, you do not." That line alone carries so much weight. It reminds us that, for all his strength and bravery, Jamie has never become numb to violence. War changes people, but it never gets easier. And in that honest, vulnerable admission, we're reminded once again of why we love these characters so deeply. Written in my own heart's blood. Episode 15 shares the name of Book 8, Written in My Own Heart's Blood. That title is a spoiler itself. In the teaser, Claire is shot during the Battle of Monmouth, prompting Jamie to retire from the army. Right then and there, he writes his resignation letter using Claire's blood on an officer's jacket. She's his heart, and he's leaving it all behind for her. It's incredibly emotional. Book readers, how did you feel when you first read that scene? And at last, we arrive at episode 16, 100,000 Angels. A title that lingers in the soul, poetic, haunting, and filled with quiet reverence. Inspired by the powerful song first sung by Bliss and later given new life by the unforgettable Sinéad O'Connor, this title promises more than just a conclusion. It promises a moment, one that might transcend time, space, and everything we thought we knew about love, loss, and healing. It calls to mind that unforgettable scene when Claire, hovering between life and death, is surrounded by the comforting presence of women who've shaped her mother, her grandmother, and perhaps even Myrtle. Ghosts, angels, memories, whatever they were, they came in her darkest hour like a celestial embrace. Could this final episode bring us back to that mystical place where past and present collide and love becomes eternal? Maybe these angels aren't winged beings, but the ones we carry in our hearts. The people we've lost, the ones who never truly leave, the ones who remind us that even in grief, we are never alone. If that's the case, then this may be the most spiritually profound finale Outlander has ever delivered. And if you've stayed with me through every twist, tear, and turning point, thank you. Truly, thank you for your time, your energy, and for being part of this incredible shared journey through the world of Outlander. Your passion is what keeps this story alive, even as it nears its final chapter. Let's keep this community strong. Share your thoughts below. What do you think the angels represent? Who do you hope to see once more? And what are you bracing yourself for in this emotional send-off? Until we meet again, stay safe, stay passionate, and never stop believing in the power of a story well told. Sell into math, my friends.